Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Liam Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker, evangelist, musician, and activist. In this audio, we're going to be talking about a very important thing, and this is called the know self, know thyself, right? And this is a very important thing to learn, and the reason why I share audios and podcasts within the Spiritually Helping Other People podcast is to inspire humanity to go through a spiritual change, to help humanity to learn about the no self and selflessness, and to help humanity learn more about spiritual change, helping other people, giving back and making a difference. Now, in this audio, we're going to be talking about the know self, know thyself. Now, the know self and know thyself is a very important thing. The know self is basically living a life where you know yourself, right? So you know yourself completely as a human being. And the know self means no more self. There's no more self within you. Your spirituality and your faith has changed. When you discover the know self and know thyself, you understand that the world is a very important spiritual and faithful thing. Your life changes into helping other people, giving back and making a difference, helping the animals and helping the universe. The no self is the most important thing to discover in life, because when there's no more self, there's no more you. There's no more I, there's no more me, there's no more why. So you're free from suffering, pain and adversities within your life, and you're free to do what you're spiritually called to do for Jesus Christ, Jehovah and Buddha. Now it's important to realize the know self is know thyself. So when you go through a spiritual change, when you've understood yourself as a human being, you've understood your failures, your successes, your life experiences, your challenges, your difficulties, your struggles, your suffering, your pains and adversities, and all of the things you experience within your life. When you know and understand that and process that, then you discover the know self and selflessness, which basically means know thyself. When you know thyself, it means you've understood yourself completely as a human being. You know everything about yourself, which only can happen through spiritual change. So how do you discover the know self? You go through a spiritual change. What is spiritual change? So spiritual change is when you develop the 5 spiritual practices: prayer, meditation, mindfulness, walking and journaling. When you develop the spiritual practices in going through the no self and selflessness, then you discover the true essence of who you are, your true human being, your true humanity, your true spiritual energy, and your true spirit, soul, mind and body. That can only come through spiritual change, so you must go through a spiritual change to discover yourself. By discovering yourself, you know who you are as a human being and you understood yourself. Now, this is where it gets to the point of spiritual enlightenment and spiritual knowing. So, knowing is a very spiritual thing. It's a sacred thing. It's a very important thing in life. Knowing yourself means you know yourself as a human being, and spiritually knowing means you have a spiritual intuition, a spiritual guidance, a spiritual knowing of who you are. The know self is the way to discover it. When you have no more self, it means you can contribute to others in amazing ways and really give back and make a difference. So it's so important to discover the know self and know thyself. Know thyself means you understand yourself as a human being, and you've gone through a spiritual change to go through the know self and selflessness. Now, when you discover the know self, it's important to help other people, give back and make a difference. And it's important to keep on doing the spiritual practices that I said before, which was prayer, meditation, mindfulness, walking and journaling. Now, it's important to realize when we actually discover the know self, our life is basically about spiritual contributions in helping other people, giving back and making a difference. So it's so important to really discover the know self first before you help other people. If you don't discover the know self first before you help other people, when challenges, situations and circumstances come into your life, which happens for every human being, all human beings will go through something in life that is very tragic, painful, hurtful, and destructive. So it's important to realize the no self is the way to free yourself from any suffering, pain, and adversity. It's the way to free yourself from any overthinking, ruminating, or negative thinking. It's also the way to free yourself from any challenges, difficulties, mishaps, misfortunes, and challenges that happen in daily life. So it's important when we do the work of helping other people, giving back and making a difference, that we don't have any self-ambition, self-desire, self-motive. That's a very difficult thing to discover and a very hard thing to learn. But when you go through a spiritual change, you discover the spirituality and the faith within yourself. When you have faith and spirituality, it means you're connected to Jesus Christ, Jehovah, Buddha, in faith and spiritual ways. That means that you're not basically gonna do things that other people do. You're focused on your life on the spiritual contributions, helping other people, helping the animals, helping the universe. Now, in the work of helping other people, giving back and making a difference, there's 5 levels to helping other people. Level 1, volunteering, the good level in helping other people. Level 2, jobs, careers, employment, the great level in helping other people. Level 3, business and entrepreneurship, the highest level in helping other people. Level 4, faith and spiritual, the spiritual levels in helping other people. And then level 5, spiritually helping other people, who helping other people, the teaching level in helping other people. Now you have to go through the process of all the 5 levels of helping other people when you discover the no self and selflessness and know thyself. This becomes the most important thing to do in life, because your desires change, your motivations change, your aspirations change, and your inspiration changes when you go through a spiritual change. So the spiritual change becomes the most important thing. We must go through a spiritual change in order to help other people, give back and make a difference. And there's millions and billions and thousands and hundreds of people that need help and support. They need your guidance, they need your inspiration, they need your motivation. And it's important to learn that the no self frees you from yourself. It makes you more compassionate, more empathetic, and more kinder, and more loving, and more caring towards others. That's where you must develop the spiritual quality and the spiritual change and the spiritual energy in the no self and selflessness. And it's very important. And when you know yourself, it means you can do things that other people can't do. Like you can write books, you can do videos, you can do audios, you can do podcasts. You can help people in amazing ways. You can focus your life on the spiritual contributions. So the most important thing to learn about the no self is basically this: there's no more self within you, which means you have the spiritual authority, the faith and the spirituality to spiritually help other people, help the animals, and help the universe in an amazing way. And the no self is life's spiritual transformation. You can only go through life's spiritual transformation when you know yourself, when you go through the process of no self and the spiritual change. And obviously, one other thing as well to realize with the no self, you start to live your spiritual dharma, you start to live your spiritual life purpose, you start to live your spiritual calling, which all human beings are able to do if they discover the no self and selflessness. So it's important that you go through the process of spiritual change, you discover who you are as a human being, your true essence of who you are. You become the light within the world for other people, for humanity, the animals in the universe, and you live your spiritual dharma, your spiritual calling, your spiritual life purpose every single day. And it's important when you discover the no self and selflessness and know that self, that you help other people every single day in small or big ways and make a massive difference and make a massive contribution. For me, as I discovered the no self and selflessness, my contributions are focused on videos, audios, podcasts, messages, books, and ways that I work in my career, in my business, in my volunteering, and in my faith and my spiritual ministry life. So it's important that we focus on what we can do for others, what we can do for the world, what we can do to help other people and what they're going through. and what we can do to make a difference and a contribution. So, discover the know self, discover know thyself, and understand yourself as a human being. And that's basically where knowledge and wisdom is. The beginning of knowledge and wisdom is when you've understood yourself as a human being. You've understood who you are and all your life experiences and all your challenges. That makes you spiritually enlightened, and that gives you spiritual enlightenment. When you have spiritual enlightenment, you're free from the past, you're free from the traumas that you've experienced, you're free from the suffering and the pains and adversities you've been through, and you can live your spiritual dharma, your spiritual calling, and your spiritual life purpose. So make sure you help other people, give back and make a difference, help the animals, help the universe, do the 5 spiritual practices, do the 5 levels of helping other people, and discover the know self and know thyself. And remember, you're the light of the world and the inspiration to the world. So only you can help hundreds, thousands, millions and billions of people in what they're going through. And only you have the power inside of you and the spiritual authority inside of you to do it. So thank you for listening, and I hope you discover the know self. And take care now. Bye bye now. Thanks now. Bye.